People picture chess as a slow battle of long-term strategy, but most games aren't decided by slow maneuvering. They're decided by sudden, violent strikes. We call these strikes tactics. A chess tactic is a forcing sequence of moves that achieves a specific guaranteed outcome. Most of the time, that outcome is winning your opponent's pieces. Spotting these opportunities quickly can feel overwhelming, so we are going to use a 4-step board scanning checklist. You can run through this exact sequence in any game to find vulnerabilities and execute the most common tactics in chess, the Big Four. You don't need a grandmaster's memory to do this. If you know how the pieces move, you already have the tools required to use the system. Memorizing this checklist changes how you play. Instead of just reacting to what your opponent does, you will actively interrogate the board, hunting for the specific weaknesses that lead directly to a win. Step 1 of our scan is the simplest. Check the opponent's territory for LPDO. This acronym stands for Loose Pieces Drop Off. A loose, or hanging piece, is an enemy unit that has been left completely undefended by its own army. This diagram shows the baseline mechanics in action. You locate the undefended target, confirm no other piece is guarding it, and take it for free. But there is a primary failure point here: tunnel vision. When you get greedy for a free piece, you can easily blind yourself to imminent threats against your own king. Even the best players in the world fall victim to this. Former world champion Magnus Carlsen once became so focused on the board that he suffered a hanging checkmate against Hikaru Nakamura, failing to defend against a direct fatal threat to his king. Securing your own king's safety is the mandatory prerequisite. You must ensure you are not walking into a mate before you can safely exploit your opponent's loose pieces. Once you know your king is safe and there are no free pieces to grab, we move to step 2, scanning the board to set up a double attack. The most devastating and common form of a double attack is the fork. This occurs when one of your pieces simultaneously attacks 2 separate enemy targets. This board setup shows a classic tactical sequence. White deliberately sacrifices their queen on a heavily defended square just to clear the path. The payoff is immediate. The white knight jumps onto that newly cleared square and executes a royal fork, attacking both the black king and queen at the exact same time. The rules of chess dictate that a player in check must save their king. Because they are forced to deal with that specific threat, they have to abandon the queen. Forcing moves like checks completely strip away your opponent's agency. They neutralize any counterattack, allowing you to dictate the exact outcome of the exchange. If a fork isn't available, we arrive at step 3, identifying linear geometries. You are looking for a setup where a low-value enemy piece is caught directly in front of a high-value target. World Championship challenger Viktor Korchnoi frequently used these geometric traps to dismantle opponents at the highest levels of competition. Looking at this board arrangement, Korchnoi makes a seemingly dangerous move, capturing a pawn and placing his piece directly into the attack radius of the defending black queen. But the black queen will not recapture. It is caught in a relative pin. Moving it exposes the highly valuable rook hiding directly behind it to capture. The rules change in an absolute pin. If the piece hiding behind the line of fire is the king, the front piece is legally immobilized. Moving it would place the king in check, making any such move strictly illegal. Successfully pinning an opponent's piece paralyzes it. You can proceed with your tactical calculations, treating that pinned defender mathematically like a dead piece. Step 4 of our scan is searching for intersecting lines, where one of your own pieces is currently blocking your long-range attacker. We use this geometry to execute a discovered attack. This happens when you move that blocking piece out of the way to suddenly unveil a hidden sniper. In this diagram, you initiate the trap by aggressively moving the blocking piece. The white bishop steps out to put the enemy king in direct check. That movement springs a secondary trap. Getting the bishop out of the way simultaneously opens a firing lane for a hidden rook to attack the black queen. The most lethal variation of this tactic is the double check. This occurs when both the moving piece and the newly revealed piece attack the king at the exact same time. The double check breaks the normal rules of defense. Because it is physically impossible to block 2 separate lines or capture 2 different attackers, the opponent is forced into a chaotic, usually fatal, king retreat. That completes our 4-step board scanning checklist. You check for loose pieces, look for double attacks, exploit pins, and uncover discoveries. When you ruthlessly apply this system, the opponent's position collapses rapidly. Piece by piece, their defenses fall apart. Knowing the checklist is the foundation, but applying it at speed requires pattern recognition. You build that reflex by practicing these specific themes on the chess.com puzzle learning portal. Relying on hope and slow maneuvering will lose you games. By systematically scanning the board for these tactical setups, you turn winning material into a cold, repeatable science.
Hope you like our video. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe us. To join our insightful Chess Anurag classes, WhatsApp or call us at given number.